praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And we give double honors to a great millstone and the men who are teaching this truth and peace and sincerity, and truth and sincerity. Okay, I'm your brother Yakanan, coming back out here to the highways and byways. It is the 20th, Friday night, okay, Friday evening rather, and there's a lot that is going on in the earth, and I guess I'll title this one the anticipation, the great anticipation of the calamities that are coming up on the earth. The great anticipation of calamities that are coming upon the earth. Okay, we've had the earthquakes over in the Philippines. Okay, we've had them in Alaska. We had quite a bit of swarms of earthquakes coming upon the earth. We're still at 5.4% inflation. The housing, a lot of the housing is being bought up by investors. We have 40% car sale increase, 40%, and we have a shortage of sales. In other words, they can't sell cars. Okay, Ford Motor Company has decided that they're not going to sell sedans anymore. They're going to just sell trucks. Okay, so they're doing well with the $50,000 trucks that they're selling. Okay, these expensive trucks. So that's what's happening in the earth. Okay, we know that they're in September they're going to possibly mandate this Crown 19, the juice, as we call it. They're going to possibly mandate it, okay, by way of FDA approval. What else? We know that they had a failed war in Afghanistan because the Taliban has taken over the country. They can't seem to get their own people out, the contractors and all that. So as we can see, is a free fall of America. We see a free fall. China, they cracking jokes, saying that telling Taiwan they better not lean upon America because they're gonna abandon them. Okay, so as we can see the cracks, the ripples in the kingdom. Okay, because we know that the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is the ruler of this world. Okay, he's the king of the world. Yahweh Shai is going to get all the crowns, and unbeknownst to the so-called white man and the heathens, they basically don't understand this. Okay, all right, so I guess we'll open up with that let's see here. Salakia. Yeah, we go to Daniel. We go to Daniel 2 and 44. Daniel 2 and 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that's the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is going to be given to Yahweh Shai, the Mashiach, the one they call Jesus, in which that was a Greek name. We know that was a Greek name. Jesus Christos is the Greek name of Jesus. Okay, Jesus Christos. Okay. Can I help you?
Gentleman that called for the taxi?
Nope.
No? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so Jesus Christos is the Messiah, the one they call the Messiah, or Jesus, okay? But the real name is in Paleo Hebrew, okay? So let me rephrase that. I don't think that came out right. Got interrupted by this gentleman over here. You see, Jesus Christos was the Greek name of Jesus, okay? The true name of powers in heaven and earth are Yahushua, and Yahweh being the Father, Yahushua being the Son, okay? So, with that out the way, we'll read Daniel 2:44 again. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that's what's happening before our eyes. The last final chapter of the Roman Empire is beginning to disintegrate, okay, before our eyes, and the long-awaited kingdom of heaven is on the way. That's what we have to understand. The long-awaited kingdom of heaven is on the way. The Hamashiach will take the crowns, and let's read that in Revelation 18 and 20. Revelations 18 and 20. Okay. All right. And this is the rejoicing of the prophets. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her." So the revenge is going to come on Babylon the Great. That's why we know that this America is Babylon the Great, because this is where a lot of the saints were slaughtered on this side in America. Okay. All right, so let's go back up to 18 and 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues." So that's what's coming on the earth. Various plagues, earthquakes. Okay, the juice that they're trying to give to the whole world. The pestilence that has sprang forth, that pretty much they created. Okay, America and England own the patent through Purbright Institute, through Bill Gates. They own the patent, okay, to the pestilence itself. Okay, so they were involved in the experimentation with the bats. Okay, they were involved in this. Okay, so they have their hands in it. All right, they gave funding to the Asian lab. All right, so I'll just get that out the way. But the Lord is going to visit this place with a myriad of chariots. It's going to be destroyed. Okay, and let me read what's going to happen. Just like we had to drink of the cup. We had to drink of the cup of slavery. So will the so-called Idumeans, the Edomites, the so-called white man. They're going to have to drink of the cup of servitude and slavery. That's going to be their judgment by Yahweh Yahushua. All right. It says in Revelations 18 and 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she has filled, fill her double. So we know vengeance is going to come forth for the prophets, the death of the prophets. Okay, the prophets were put to death on this side, and the Lord is saying that vengeance is going to come double upon America. Okay, because America is Babylon the Great. She's the one who spreads her influence all over the world, and has everybody singing to her tune. So for that reason, the Lord is going to make an example out of America and the Idumeans that propagate the blasphemies against the Lord and His Son. One of those blasphemies being they took this image right here of Caesar Borgia, and said that he was the savior, okay, in which he's an Edomite from the Edomite stock of Esau, and really they are actually the deceiver of the whole world. Deceiver meaning devil, and Satan being the adversary. If you're with me, okay, if you can understand that, all right. And so that's the reason why the Lord is bringing plagues on this place, and he's using Esau, Edom, as a springboard to basically destroy themselves. They want to bring forth a new world order, a great reset on the whole world. Okay, they're going to pretty much revamp the economy. They may come in with a CBC, but we know they're coming in with digital currency. Okay, all financial money that is printed is not going to be printed. Fiat currency, the dollar bill, is going to be done away with. Okay, I was going to show you a dollar bill, but I don't have one. But anyway, let's take never mind. But anyway, let's move on here. The like I was saying, the truckers are going to be mandated. They had put that on the table because what they want to do, they want to squeeze everyone financially, and then they're going to come out with the draconian laws, in which draconian being unrighteous and grievous laws, in order to get you to submit to this this new world order. Okay, like you're not going to be able to eat, you're not going to be able to go into stores unless you have this the juice. Okay, unless you have the juice, if you're with me. Okay, so Daniel 12:1. Daniel 12:1. Let's go ahead and read that. Daniel 12:1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be written in the book." Okay. Verse 2, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt." Okay, so the Most High, if things are going to get so bad in the earth, he's going to have to send the archangel Michael to save the elect of Israel, the elect spirits of Israel that are on this earth today. Okay, and also at verse 2, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt." What that means is, when we go out on the highways and the byways and we teach, when we put these epistles out on the internet, we're searching for the elect, because the elect is the only one that's going to understand and get this understanding and knowledge. But a lot of Israelites are not going to get it. They're not going to understand, and that's going to mean for them shame and everlasting contempt. But some of them are going to, us are waking up to everlasting life. In other words, we were deceived, we were destroyed as a people. Okay, we were put in bondage and slavery, okay, and destroyed as a people. But through the men of the Lord, we're being quickened in the spirit and woken back up to life. And that's what it means to be born again, to leave off from this Christianity that they gave us when we came over here in the slave ships, and to embrace Yahweh Shai and the kingdom message. Okay, all right. And like I said, and it reads, "And many of them shall sleep in the dust." We were asleep in the dust because we were destroyed by the so-called white man and all the other nations that took us into captivity as slaves, beat us down, and never taught us the truth. Okay, then we were awakened by Yahweh Shai. He sent through his men and through the internet, through teaching, that we come back to life and back to the full understanding of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the word. Okay, because we're washed by the word. Okay, but many of Israelites are not going to get this, and therefore they're going to be in shame and everlasting contempt, as it says in Daniel 12:2. So that's what that means. Okay, so I might as well just go through this real quick. In other words, how? Let me read Isaiah 22. Isaiah 22:17. All right. It says, "Behold, Yahweh will carry thee away with a mighty captivity, and shall surely cover thee." And that's what happened to us, the children of Israel. We were carried away in a mighty captivity. We were put on slave ships, and then we were brought here. We didn't understand the language. We were taught English and what have you. And this is what it's showing us what will happen. "Behold, Yahweh will carry thee away with the mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. There shalt thou die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of the Lord's house. And I will drive thee from thy station, and from thy state shall he pull thee down." So what happened to us is we were ruling, unlike the history books tell you. They kept the understanding from us what happened to a lot of the Negroes before the 1600s. But during the Dark Ages, we was ruling. We ruled over in Spain for over 1,000 years. Okay, all right. We were ruled in France, Britain, Germany, Switzerland, all of those European nations. You had Negro rulers in it. Okay, but they didn't never tell us that, and we were blinded by that. But anyway, I'll show you a few images here. What you have here is a picture of King James. Okay, King James was a Negro, and it says Britain, France, Hibernia. Okay, Jacobus. Okay, so he's the son of Jacob. So he was a Negro. Okay, as you can see. All right, and we can see here a picture of Negro land up here up top, Negro land, in which on Negro land we came off of the slave coast, as they told us. We were taken from the slave coast, and that's the kingdom of Judah on this map. So pretty much every Negro should have that map, because that really is a testimony of what happened to us and the children of Israel, the tribe of Judah. Okay, all right. And also on here we see where they took us down in Europe, and they were giving the heads of the kings to the queen. Okay, to the queen, as you can see. All right. And we have here actually the Holy Roman Empire, where the knight has a halo over his head, and he was actually in Rome. Okay, so it part of the Roman Empire. All right. So we was ruling during the Dark Ages. All right. All right. So with that being said, we have to understand that the Lord. Let's read that again. Behold, Isaiah 22:17. Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with the mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee, and he will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. That's America and all the places where we were scattered. There shalt thou die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of thy Lord's house. Okay, so the chariots of Israel are the so-called UFOs that they have spotted, the so-called military has spotted around the world. Okay, but these chariots were watching over us as we were being taken into captivity on those cargo slave ships. Okay, but verse 19 reveals to us that we were at a high station, and then we were brought down. Now let's read it. "And I will drive thee from thy station, and from thy state shall he pull thee down. Okay, so we were pulled down from royalty and brought down to a base state as we are today. Okay, if you can understand that scripture, Isaiah 22 through 17 through 19. Okay, so all right, so right now the kingdom now is beginning to teeter and falter. We can see that in all across all phases of the government. Our supply chains breaking down. When we go in the stores, we see limited. It's not that bad, but it's getting to a point where we always see scarcity. Certain places, a lot of places in the shelves are not full. Okay, so let's read 2nd Esdras 16, 14 through 23, and that's 2nd Esdras 16, 14 through 23. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And we can see that that's what's happening. We can see the fires over in Greece, fires over in California, consuming the place. Okay? Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. And this is Esdras speaking here, the prophet. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because Esdras is here today. His spirit was regenerated, and he was reborn back on the earth during this time. Okay, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? They're already here. Okay, they've pretty much, I think 70% has been given the juice. Okay, it's an experimental product, so we don't know what's going to happen. So then on top of that, we got wars on the horizon. We got war on the horizon, in which basically we got the situation over in Afghanistan. We got the situation on the China Sea with Taiwan. Taiwan wanted to remain a democratic society, in which China is saying, hey, we want to invade. Okay, they're not invading, but that's what they really want to do. Okay, so we're really at things are going along just as the prophecy said it would. Okay, there will be a World War III. Okay, that's what's going to free the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Mexicans. That's what's going to free the children of Israel, is the Great War. Okay, and the angels and Yahweh coming with the chariots. All right, but the plagues are going to continue to come upon the earth. Things are not going to get better. America, I always say this, America is not going to be great again, because we've reached the end. The Most High is drawing back the power of the sword from Esau, Edom, and the Edomites. Okay, because we're in the revised Roman Empire. Okay, and I'll go over that real quick. This is the revised Roman Empire that we're under right now. Okay, there are 4 kingdoms that will rule on the earth: the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, and then the Romans. And then the end of the world will come through the Roman Empire and Esau, Edom. Okay, and we'll go ahead and get that real quick, because so you can know what time it is right now. It said in Revelation 20:1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. The bottomless pit is Europe, and the devil and Satan representing of the Roman Empire and the so-called Edomites and so-called Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, and his seed line. because we know that his seed line could be of also you know, different skin tones or whatever. But either way, it'll be his seed line that the Most High has indignation and hate for. Okay, because the Most High does hate. All right, but okay, he in other words, he put a seal upon the Roman Empire, put a seal upon Esau, Edom, so he would not be able to reign anymore, and he brought him out of the kingdom. The Roman Empire was ruled for 1,000 years. The Greeks ruled for 350. Okay, so with this 1,000-year period of rulership, the Most High cut them off after that 1,000-year period was up, and then Jacob began ruling the so-called Negroes. They invaded Spain and took down Spain, and then they started conquering other nations round about. They was ruling, like I said again, Germany, Switzerland, England, all of these places they had rulership foundation in. Okay, so that's the thing that was omitted, and that's what this is telling you in Revelation. And cast him into a bottomless pit, versus this is I'll read 2 again. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. So when this 1,000-year period was up, that the so-called Negroes, they called them the Moors, was up in the 1300s, that's when they started conquering them. The so-called white man, the Romans, the Edomites, they began to conquer the castles over there in Europe and taking them down. And that's what this is abating to. And you notice it said after the 1,000 years is up, he will rule for a little season. So we're in that seasonal period. So the so-called white man's been ruling over here in America for maybe 300, 400 years. Okay, so the Most High is not going to allow him to rule a whole season, which will be 1,000 years. You know, one day to the Most High is 1,000 years. He's not going to allow him to reach that. Okay, all right. But no one knows the day or the hour when the Most High is going to put an end to this kingdom. Okay, and that's what the end of the world is. It's going to be the end of the rulership of the so-called white man, the Edomites. Okay, all right. So let me see this. So let's go into, we'll go to 2nd Esdras 6:14 through 23, and I think I'll go back to that. Read a portion of it. Okay, and it's talking about those scourges. And I start at 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings